Hey everyone, welcome back to another bonus episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. How's it going?
Hey-o.
Caroline.
It's going good. I got my beer. It's the weekend or the middle of the week or early morning or late at night. It's podcast land. You're listening to this whenever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so the last two episodes, if you are a regular listener, we had our good friends Hillary and Katie on, and they had a wide-ranging conversation with you, Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
So wide-ranging that it ended up being 2 episodes. And believe it or not, I had to cut probably, it wasn't that much, but it was a significant amount, and we are going to make it into a bonus episode.
I'm just surprised that you actually listened to the whole episode this time, because I swear the last time I recorded an episode with Hillary and Katie, you said that you just listened to the beginning of it and the end of it and didn't really listen to the middle much and just put it out because you were like, I have no idea what you guys were talking about. Here you go.
No, that's not true. I mean, I listened to the entire thing. I just didn't cut as much as normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I did cut about, I'm not sure how much I cut, so we'll see.
I mean, as moms, we never get distracted and never go on tangents, ever.
Yeah, so this episode is all about tangents and getting sidetracked. That's not what the topic is, but that is what happened, and I made it into a bonus episode. So we're going to go ahead and get into it.
Woohoo!
So enjoy the show right after this. Hey everyone, Joe Ludwig here with the one and only Caroline.
Hey!
Before we get to the main topic of today's episode, we wanted to pause briefly and tell you about how you can support the show.
So if you enjoy listening to the podcast and reading our blog posts every week, then you now have the opportunity to support the show through Buy Me a Coffee. Here's what you need to know. It's super easy to do. You don't have to set up an account to contribute. You have options. Send us a one-time donation or sign up as a member to contribute on a monthly or yearly basis. Plus, you can unlock exclusive content.
To learn more about how you can support the Craft Parenting Podcast through Buy Me a Coffee, click the link in the show notes. And now, back to the show.
I said I had my water in my Harry Potter cup.
Drinking H2O from the Harry Potter cup.
Meanwhile, I have my water in my giant
I also have
Yeti
water.
that Joe bought for me when I was pregnant with Elliot because he's like, I'm tired of getting you water all of the time. You need something that holds more water so I can make fewer trips.
I couldn't find my Arctic cup. I think that's what we have. So,
Like an insulated cup, like one of these.
This is my Harry Potter Turbis because it was close. Turvis.
No, Turvis used to be the cool cups.
Mm-hmm.
But then after these like insulated, like Yeti type cups came out, then now these are the coolest cups. Like now Turvis is like kind of.
I tried to get a metal one of those, small version from Turvis. They had a cool mermaid one, and I was like, yes. But the lid didn't close, and it didn't squish all the way down, so it still escaped all of the hot air. So I was like, might as well just put it in a Turvis. It's going to escape heat anyway.
Yeah. Well, and let me just tell you, on top of things that happen with like, I think this is the coolest thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is dangerous now. I just saw a video yesterday of somebody like a kid like getting punctured by one of these metal straws like through and like through their throat, and I was like, cool, because like I let Veda drink from the straw and she loves it. She loves like the ice cold water, and she'll like gasp and then want to go back and drink more. And I'm just like, now I'm scared about my metal straw, so I'm probably gonna be in the market for like one of your little silicone straws.
These are from Aldi, but I love the Elo brand.
Aldi.
Yeah. So
Aldi.
Aldi
y'all are trying to
for the
convert
win.
me.
You
You go to Aldi too, Caroline?
every once in a while.
Y'all need to go.
I need to go more frequently, though.
It's so cheap compared to everything else.
Yeah.
Just let me some Kroger.
When I go to Kroger, I'm like, oh, God, how much is that cheese?
Jeez.
I have a comedian that I follow, though, whose wife shops at Aldi, and he like posted a photo of her daughter, who's technically their kid now, but it's her daughter.
Right.
And like she was holding like the sad brand of Lucky Charms that you can buy at Aldi's that is not Lucky Charms, and looking really sad. And he's like, yeah, Squish is super sad because all she has is this terrible cereal.
You can hate all you want. I've never eaten that. But
Here's my Venmo.
You can hate all you want.
Here's my Venmo so you can buy her actual cereal. And then I guess one of his buddies
expensive.
actually
just in general cereal, especially that Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
All I can think of is being like, I'm going to go to Aldi and get some apples. And I'm like, yeah, a bag of disgusting Red Delicious. Like, no, I'm not going to spend a little more money if I go buy stuff from Kroger. But I also have a grandmother. Listen to this. Okay, so I also have a grandmother that goes to Aldi and Walmart, and she'll drive like all over the country to get like the food. And she's like, well, I got a coupon. And I'm like, not if you spend $50 in gas to get there. Like, whatever. It's whatever.
Well, apparently we'll have to go there.
Yeah,
We'll
we
take
will. All right,
trip
field
to Aldi's.
Field trip to Aldi.
Ooh.
Just take our microphones and walk around that.
That'd be fun.
Plus, the people that work there are really nice.
Oh,
They are.
They're super nice.
It's important.
It's because they're not tired from having to unbox and shelve all of these items. All you do is just pull up the pallet, rip the front of it off, and say, have at it, you animals.
You know what, though? I'm never ashamed to be told I told you so, because, like, I used to be a real hater on some stuff, and now I'm not anymore, and I'm just like, yep, you're right. Like, I have a friend that tried to get me on Marco Polo, and I was like, it's just...
What's that?
It's an app that you can, like, video yourself back and forth between, like, family and friends and whatever.
fun.
But I was like, it's just Snapchat. Like, why do you... Like, just get Snapchat. Everybody else on Snap. I'm like, just get Snap. So now I'm constantly on Marco Polo because you can
Really?
just... Super long... Like, you can just talk on this app for ages, and then me and my friend just, like, listen to each other. And then the other nice part is it saves all your videos. If you want to delete them, you can, but it just saves all your videos on the
that's
app.
nice.
So it's not like you're saving it to your phone. But then my parents are like, "Have you saved all those videos from Marco Polo?" And I'm like, "No, my phone ran out of storage from the videos the other day. So it's like
Yeah.
I need Marco Polo so I can just ramble and just record Veda until she does something cute, and then you know what I mean? Like I don't
and
need
you can
the whole
save like
video.
that 10, or you can then download that whole video
Yeah.
and then just cut it to the 10-second snippet that you need and delete everything else.
Well, and you don't have to hold the button like you do Snapchat. You can just press the button and start recording.
Oh, you don't have to hold the button on Snapchat.
Okay,
You
well,
ju-
show me that in a minute. But the other thing, it's like Snapchat because the video quality is poor. The video quality is poor. What? Changing my life
Mind
right now,
blown.
Caroline. Holy cow.
You hold
What?
the button and you hold the button and you swipe to the left,
Oh, dang.
and then it just keeps holding it.
Oh my gosh.
And you
Tap it?
tap to stop.
That's funny. I did not know that. But it still cuts you off after like a few minutes, which is
you get a
fine.
minute.
But you get a minute?
60 seconds
okay.
is your Snapchat limit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
either.
but only if you like rambling on and on for Marco Polo. That's the only reason. And and it's nice because it feels very much like you were like, what is it? And it's like it feels very much like, okay, this will be like accessible to my family then, because it's not like, oh, Snapchat. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some family members will be like, oh, that's I don't know. So
That's what all of those kids
Yes,
use when
exactly.
they just want to
Boppers.
send nudes to each other.
that's exactly right, though. That's exactly what I meant. Is that like they're like, well, I'm not gonna be on Snapchat. That's for kids or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, let's do this Marco Polo thing. And it's my family loves it. Like my mom is like, send me a Marco Polo, and so like it's fun. But anyway,
That is fun.
yeah.
We're finally all on Snapchat, and then Joe deleted his Snapchat. I'm like, well,
Oh,
you don't get anything
Joe.
on
Oh, is that
Snapchat
why I
then.
haven't gotten anything for a while?
I know.
Yeah, he
makes
deleted his
sense.
Snapchat.
Yeah. Joe used to hold that button, man. Hold that button. No, he didn't hold the button. He must have swiped over the left for the full minute. No, it's fine. No, but like I said, I don't mind. I don't mind whenever you're rambling on and on. I just like to listen to things. So I talk to my friend. But anyway, whatever.
You're gonna ramble on now.
I'm gonna ramble right now. So the other day, it was a Wednesday. If you didn't know,
I saw a bird.
I saw a bird.
What I mean, is there a better kind of pause than a cobbler pause?
No, I mean
What
anything
am I
that involves
thinking about?
dessert.
Oh, the sleep. So I'm like, what's your least favorite color? What's your third favorite place to be?
Yeah,
Like-
there's nobody. Now that I'm an adult, nobody asks me what my third favorite dinosaur is.
I get that all the time.
I get that. You're like, if you're a kindergarten teacher, you get that often.
We do.
You can probably record.
I did.
I'm sure. Oh, okay. I'm sure it doesn't matter what we are saying. Does it? Too much?
No.
The whole thing doesn't matter.
What is life? Katie's over here like pouring wine, like nothing matters anymore. Like, whoa,
Words have no power.
things are dark. Things got a little dark. Have you been in school
Hi.
for a week now, or have you been in school for longer than a week?
We went back on the 24th. So like this was our first full week.
Okay.
Ow, I hit
It is weird.
the slancha.
Oh, slancha. Is that Greek?
Irish.
Oh, Irish. I don't listen to me. For some reason, I thought maybe you were Greek. Are you like? Is your background
No,
Irish, or you just
I'm
like because
pretty
you like
much
Ireland?
German.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
I
pretty
don't know
typical
mine.
for
I think
Cincinnati.
mine's German and whatever. I don't know. I don't want to be like. I feel like I've looked it up before, but
I
somewhere
have a
we're
little
gonna
bit
get a
of
lot of
Irish.
sun.
I have a little bit of Irish, but
Okay.
this is from when we went to Ireland.
Nice. Is
We
it
did
just
some
health?
brew tours.
Sláinte?
Good. I think it's good wealth and happiness, or
Okay.
good health and happiness. Sorry.
Okay.
Now you're gonna make me look it up.
Sorry. My mother-in-law, we got to her house today, and she was giving it. She was trying to learn some French because she like travels all over the place.
Right.
And she greeted us with a French greeting, and the first part of it was like almost like a salute, something, and then it was like how parlez-vous. It was something, and it was like how are you? But like the first piece, it was like health. How are you? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like
It is health. It's
was
just
it
health.
health. I would say sláinte just sounds like anything with like S and like a greeting. Always, I feel like it's health or something. So. I think salute is Spanish, isn't it?
It says
Salud.
to your health as well. If you say sláinte, then you're supposed to say sláinte something. Agazza.
Sláinte agazza.
That's what
I got that health. Kinda? Maybe? No, probably not.
Yeah.
So
I love me some languages. My sister, her neighbor has a foreign exchange student, and he's from the Czech Republic, which I guess used to be Czechoslovakia, but now it's the Czech Republic. And we played Ticket to Ride with him the other day,
I love
and
that game.
I had to. I love it too, but I had to explain the rules for the first time
oh man,
in my life, and I had to like read through the whole rule book, and it took us forever to like, get the rules down, and then we played for a really long time. But it was super fun, but it was like. I was like, oh, Steven was here and he could just explain the rules real quick. And I didn't have to like sit here and be like reading through the pamphlet, but it ended up turning out really good. But it was fun to talk to him a little bit about, like just things that
Culture.
are different, like he was calling the trains wagons instead of train cars. And he's like, that's weird. He's like a car, like we were like, cause it was saying in the rule book, it was saying train cars, you each have like so many train cars. And we were like, no, yes. And he was like, we call them wagons. And we were like, whatever. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Interesting.
but yeah.
I like to learn that kind of stuff.
I do too. I think it's like and it'll be different like from state to state sometimes too, like from small area too. Because like I was in my favorite story is I was in I work in Northern Kentucky and grew up in Dayton, Ohio. And when I work in Northern Kentucky, I was like I grew up kind of out in the country, and my whole family says lane. So I was like, well, I pulled in your lane, and the client I had was so confused. She was like, what? Like what do you mean? And I was like your lane, like, and I was like, your driveway? And she was like, oh, like we think lane like street. And I was like,
Well, because
I always say
the
lane.
driveways out in Dayton are basically streets.
They are. They're like, so they can be super long. So I guess like we've always said like down the lane, and the lane was like we used to live down a really long lane when I was little, and so it was just I don't know. So my parents have always called it that, and so yeah. Dialectically. But go ahead.
Yeah, like because the one time that we went to Steven's parents' house, we're like, well, I really hope that this is the right driveway because I can't
not,
even
you're
see
like,
the
hey.
house or any cars that I
When
recognize.
did you come to their house?
It was right
You're
after
right.
they sold it. The one time that you guys invited us over to their house for a pool party.
I didn't know I was allowed to invite people to their house for a pool party, so I never crossed that line. I didn't
That's
know.
funny.
I didn't know if I was allowed to like do that, and then like by the time we eventually were able to, it was like
They're
like,
done.
Yeah, they're too late. So I was like, man, yeah, it's a real bummer. I've been trying to find places to go swim this year, and it's been fun to like visit with people and find places to swim, and that's what we did this summer. Should we finally do what the episode was meant to be?
There was something.
We liked it.
Well, before we left, you said you wanted to talk about sleep.
Oh, okay.
Or we can talk about summer. If we want to pull that thread, we can pull that thread, or we can get into summer.
I'm fine getting into summer.
Okay.
Hit it again.
So that does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are at Craft Parenting Podcast in all of those platforms. You can also get a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show. It's what helps our show grow. You can also support us on Buy Me a Coffee, if it so suits your boat. If you'd like to send us stuff such as fan mail, craft supplies, or sanity, as a mom, I could always use some sanity. We have a P.O. box.
All this information is available on our website, which is www.craftparentingpodcast.com.
That's where we post the show notes, plus some blog posts about stuff that doesn't make it into the podcast.
And if you want to follow me personally on Instagram, my Instagram is @craftparentingjoe. I post pictures of the beer that I drink.
And on Instagram, I am at Caroline Creates Crafts and Caroline's Creative Crafts on Facebook. I swear I'm going to start going through my inventory and start posting things on Facebook and Instagram that I have available because it's getting cold and I have some great fall and winter products available.
And with that, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Bye. Good job, Hillary and Katie, on doing such a great job recording an episode. High five.